Hi everybody, I'm Trish Christ. In this episode of Our Nashville, NECAT and our super crew of teenagers spend some time with Salama Urban Ministries. CEO Dewana Wade and her team are going to show and tell us all the cool things they do in our community. Are you ready, Dewana?
Yes.
Are you ready, super crew?
Yes.
Let's make the show.
It's our Nashville.
It's our Nashville.
It's our Nashville.
My destination is Nashville.
We all know how to talk about our organization during meetings, but what about the chance encounter of a lifetime? You never know who may share your next elevator, notice your logo on a notebook or a tote bag, and ask what you do. What's the clearest, most persuasive thing you can say in a short elevator ride?
We are providing services for young people and families that focus on academics, performing arts, and spiritual development. But more than that, we focus on the whole child. And so a whole child comes out of Salama well prepared to be a really important and giving part of community.
What is the purpose of Salama?
Ultimately, our goal is to help young people reach the heights and the dreams that they're interested in reaching. And so we do that by providing them after-school programming. We do that by providing opportunities for summer programming. And we focus on academics, performing arts, and spiritual development. And believe that those kinds of holistic kinds of programming give young people an opportunity to explore, an opportunity to grow, and an opportunity to dream.
What kiddos are we talking about? What ages? What part of town? Who gets to be part of this?
Honestly, anyone that wants to be a part of Salama can be a part of Salama.
Great.
We are in the Edge Hill community, and so our primary target are folks that live in the Edge Hill community. Kindergarten through 12th grade students are served by our program. During the school year, we primarily serve kindergarten through 8th grade students. It's kind of hard for a high schooler to commit to Monday through Friday after school from 3:15 or whatever time they get out of school to 6 o'clock in the afternoon. So during the school year, kindergarten through 8th grade students, they come from schools that are in our neighborhood, and then also they come from schools that are Edge Hill students are zoned to. And so that includes Waverly Belmont, Aiken Elementary, and it includes Fall Hamilton, Carter Lawrence, Rose Park. And so any family that doesn't live in that area or go to any of those schools, parents have the opportunity, if they so choose, to bring their children to the program as well.
Great.
In the summertime, we do open our doors again to kindergarten through 12th grade students, and we get high schoolers, we get middle schoolers from other parts of the city, and families bring their kids to program there. So any kid that is interested, any family that is interested in the programming that we are offering, they're able to do that.
That's quite a broad range of young people. A 5-year-old in kindergarten is going to have different needs and probably interests and wants than an 18-year-old in high school.
Definitely.
How do you handle that range of needs?
Absolutely. We think it's very important to have developmentally based programming and activities in arts, academics, and spiritual development for the students. And so we have a very specific program for kindergarten through 4th graders. We have a very specific program for middle schoolers, 5th through 8th graders, and the same for 9th through 12th graders. Typically, we have certified teachers as much as possible who are putting together curriculum and lesson plans for the academic pieces of that. And we have an academic coordinator that coordinates all of that. We have volunteers that support that as well. And then we also have a performing arts coordinator who does the same. And so whereas students who have started with us in kindergarten or in 2nd grade and sometimes stay with us through 12th grade, they sometimes come back and are teachers for younger grades. But students are learning based upon their developmental level. And it's not just based on their academic level. It is based on what their level is. So a 3rd grader who may or may not be reading on 3rd grade level receives instruction relative to what their actual skills are in hopes of driving those skills closer to grade level or even beyond grade level.
My name is Michaela and I'm 12. I am in 6th grade. I actually go to Rose Park down the street. So we got some employees, two amazing people, Miss Tasha and Miss V. And they decided they wanted to work with the middle schoolers because honestly the middle schoolers were tired of just being with little kids, and we didn't feel like we were having as much fun as we should have. So they came, and we do like stuff like we go to the Adventure Science Center, and like we'll read, like right now we're reading Patina by Jason R. Reynolds. Mondays are sometimes like our free days and homework days. We always have like certain times where we can do our homework from school. And then Tuesdays we do reading. Wednesdays either like do our homework and do free time and stuff like that. And if we're going on a field trip like downtown, we'll do that. Thursdays we do math, and last time we did math, it was very fun. We did kickball math, and that was really fun. And Fridays are just like our chill days. Of course, we don't have our teachers here, so older people can try to help us, like do our homework or do work, any work that we need. And it's pretty cool, and I like all the staff here.
So what does that look like on, say, a random weekday, a Tuesday afternoon after school? I'm guessing a ton of happy, scrambling, laughing, squealing little kiddos enter the building. They
What
get
happens?
triaged into different stuff. What happens?
Triaged is a good word because ultimately it looks like organized chaos. I mean, truthfully, because you're right. Kids are either dropped off from a school bus or they are dropped off from our buses where we go to pick up. And they all come through the same door. They check in and are greeted by our staff at the check-in desk. Every young person is together in the cafeteria, which is also the fellowship hall, which is also the dance studio, which is also everything else that we need it to be. But they all go to have a healthy meal that is cooked
great.
on site by our kitchen coordinator. It depends on the day. Some days they're eating a hearty Southern meal of pinto beans and cornbread. Other days they're having chicken Alfredo, and other days they're having pizza. But that is their social time to kind of decompress after school. Because some days is hard, some days is great. So
Just like jobs.
yeah, absolutely. So you said earlier, squealing happy. Not always. Not every young person comes through the door squealing and happy. And that greeting that they receive from the staff person or volunteer at the check-in desk helps us to gauge where students are and gives us an opportunity, especially during that beginning time of lunch, to just kind of help them to decompress or to address whatever that concern is, or even to give them a little time to themselves that gives them an opportunity to self-regulate. So after lunch, kids go into one of several areas. So we have classrooms that are our reading room that's set up with bean bags and comfy chairs, and then there are comfy things that they can lay on the floor and just read. Literacy is very important to us, so we wanted a space where kids could enjoy reading and not because the teacher said you have to read for 20 minutes every day after school. We want to engage kids in reading. At this time, students also have an opportunity to go into our computer lab. Most of our middle school students have homework that relates to having access to technology, so we want to make sure that they have that access if they need it. We also have an opportunity for students to go into a homework help room. And we try to make sure that students and families understand that Salama is going to help with homework, but students are not always going to complete their homework when they get to Salama because we do a bit more than just homework help. So students who have a need for homework assistance, they have an opportunity to get that, and that is staffed by a staff person. And then we have a room where we have identified students who have some challenges academically. I talked about a third grader who may not be reading on third grade level or able to identify letters and things of that nature. There are middle schoolers sometimes that have needs for reminders and support relative to multiplication facts because they're doing a little more advanced math. So we make sure that at the beginning of every school year, students are tested in reading, language arts, and math. Students who have identified needs then have an opportunity to go to our tutoring room where they are paired with volunteers, typically from Belmont University, and others that come to help us from Fisk and sometimes from Lipscomb, and then regular community volunteers as well will come in and sometimes tutor our students rather in what they have a specific need in. And so that is one-on-one or small group tutoring that students have.
I'm Dr. Joy Kimmons from Belmont University. I teach in the Department of Education. The Department of Education began their partnership with Salama in 2013. We started as a pilot, of course, for 1 semester, just to see how that relationship would work out. And so when I approached Salama, the idea was a true partnership where our teacher education candidates could receive a great laboratory for their own learning, and Salama students would also benefit so that we could increase their literacy skills. The students are showing great gains in their reading scores. Over 75% of the students that we serve have gained over 1 grade level in reading. So we're really pleased about that. The class that I teach is educational psychology, so it's like the 2nd education course that the students take. That's when they have their Salama experience, and it's probably 2-3 years out before they're ready for their student teaching or their internship. And a lot of students say, I never thought I would teach in an urban school. And as a result of the experiences they've had here at Salama, they have decided that urban education truly is where they want to be. What we do is we use the psychology of teaching and learning and apply it to the classroom. So our students are learning the theories and the principles of psychology and apply them to teaching. And in the classroom, what is so great is they can bring the experiences they just had in working with the children and say, oh, that's what this means, or that's what that means, or I never really thought about it that way, or you know, this particular article said such and such. I saw that happen. And so so it's really neat to have this experience and be able to apply what they're learning right there.
So that second half of programming, 2 days a week, is academics, reading and language arts, or math instruction. The other 2 days a week in that second hour is our performing arts time. Every student gets performing arts at Salama, whether they become a prima ballerina, whether they become a soloist in the choir, every student gets access to arts.
I am a promise. I am a possibility. I am a promise with a capital P. I am a great big bundle of potentiality.
Generally, our performances that happen during the school year are listed, not generally, all the time, are listed on our website. Okay. And so people can find out about them there. They can also like us on Facebook and on Instagram and see all of the great things that are happening. But we also share information related to our school year performances there. In the summertime, we have a fully produced musical production at Belmont University at the end of our summer program. Families, community, people who just want to see a great, wonderfully professional show can come to that performance every summer.
That's awesome. What are some shows you've done in the past?
We have done The Wiz twice.
Yeah.
We have done Your Arms Too Short to Box with God. We've done Godspell. We've done Cinderella. We've done West Side Story.
Wow.
We've done Aesop's Fallables. And we did Annie Jr. And it was phenomenal.
What do you see in a child's face when he's in choir or learning lines for the musical or practicing the dance steps? What do you see on a person?
So while they're practicing, I see a lot of consternation. While they're practicing, I see a lot of, I wish Dr. Fields would stop talking to me about these lines. I see a lot of concentration. Sometimes I see a lot of frustration because we have students who may not, again, be operating at their grade level, and so they have to work really hard to learn their lines. They have to work really hard to manage their bodies, especially as pre-adolescents and adolescents. And it's hard and frustrating, and at the end of the day, though, when we're at the choir concert, and myself and other staff members are in the back of the room, and we're cheering and we're smiling and we're doing all of those things, I see a certain amount of pride. I see a certain amount of confidence. I see a certain amount of self-worth that who knew I could really sing a solo from the time of Mr. Patton banging on the piano on one note, and I never got that note right. Yeah. But I'm now singing a solo. When we see our kids on stage, it's transformative. They're nervous, and when they're backstage, they're nervous and they're jittery and they're excited. They want to know how many people have come to see them perform, and they want to peek out of the curtains and things of that nature. And we have to get them quiet and remind them all of the things that they went through for those 6 weeks leading up to that show. This is the payoff. And so I see kids who begin to believe that I really can do something, even if it's hard, even if it takes a long time to get to this point, even if I wanted to quit, even if I quit yesterday, I really can do this. And they have the support and love of volunteers and staff that make that happen. And it's amazing. It really, really is. It's amazing to see. And then it gives me hope, right? Because it makes me believe that I can still do some things that I want to do. And I think that is one of the most important things that we have at Salama. We teach our children all sorts of things, and they teach us so much more. And that, I think, is the most important. If we allow ourselves as adults to be willing to be taught by little people, by young people, the gains are great for all of us, right? Because what we want is a wonderful community. What we want is a wonderful world, one that is nurturing and caring and supportive and boundary setting and all of those things. And we get to see that on a daily basis. It's not always pretty, but we get to see that on a daily basis.
I'm Brian Camp, and I'm a board member here at Salama. I was introduced to Salama by Stan Weber, who was the founder, years and years ago through a church relationship, and got involved in various different committees and seeing how the program was run, and then over time eventually they asked me to participate on the board. Kids here have every bit of capacity and skill and creativity and personality as every other kid in Nashville. Through different circumstances, they may not be able to realize that full potential just due to challenges that exist in our world. And we view what we do here as an opportunity to let them step over that hurdle and achieve what God intended them to achieve. My wish for the future for Salama is that we could provide the same quality of programming that we provide to the children here in Edge Hill all over the city of Nashville. And that we could continue to do it for all time. My ultimate wish is that Salama would never be needed, but it is. And so for now, we'd love to give these programs and these opportunities to as many kids as we can. At the end of the day, what it creates is citizens that can participate in our community. And it may not be right away, although I think that if you spend time with our kids here, you'll see the blessings and the gifts that they can provide, even at this young age. But I think what we see is we have a vision for our kids at Salama that they will be active and vibrant and members and participants in our city, and that makes our city better. So when someone hires a young person out of high school or out of college, that person had to accomplish certain things to get to that place. And we want to make sure that our Salama kids have every opportunity to accomplish those things and to get that job interview and to get that opportunity to participate and bless the city in the future and in the years to come.
Who are some of your key providers, key collaborators?
First and foremost is Metro Schools. And so we could not do anything that we do without the support and assistance of Metro Schools, I would say from the top to the bottom. So when Metro has open house days, or schools are having open houses, or folks are calling the school saying, I'm looking for after school programming, sometimes we are top of mind with some of those professionals. But they also, again, provide transportation and work very well with us and families to make sure that that connection is made to get students dropped off at our location. They also provide us assistance in getting report cards, etc., and sometimes call us and say, we have these kids that we think would be appropriate for your program. So they also are a great referral source. Belmont University is a stalwart volunteer and partner with us. We have a brand new partnership with Adventure Science Center, and they're right down the street from
You're
us.
in a
and
good
we
neighborhood
had,
for all this stuff.
absolutely,
Yeah.
so many great things happening in the Edge. Adventure Science Center has made the commitment to Salama in making their services and the center accessible to our students, and we're very excited about that. And so students have got to go and do all kinds of science-y things at Adventure Science Center. We also have a Soccer Shots program where our kids are able to learn soccer skills and run and jump and experience good, healthy activity at the end of a day on a Friday.
My name is Misha. I'm the Director of Coaching for Soccer Shots in Nashville. Soccer Shots is an intro to soccer program for young children that teaches them the fundamental skills of soccer through high energy and fun games, and we have a focus on character growth and development. I come to set up my soccer field, and then the kids are coming and we just have a great time playing soccer, talking about our character word of the day, learning a couple new skills per session, and having a scrimmage in the end. So we've got one word that we focus on in each session that kind of is the center of our session with that skill. So we've got one skill and one character word. Character word, for example, is respect or honesty, courage, and we focus on giving a little definition, getting a little feedback from the kids what they think it means, and trying to use that in the session to just show the kids what it means to practice those words in action in soccer. It's been amazing to get to work with them. They're excited. They come in with high energy levels, and it's fun to get to know them through that time that I have with them. And they love soccer. I love playing with them, and it's just yeah, it's a cool experience. I feel like soccer, there's so much about how to work as a team that you can learn, and so it's fun to see them connect those dots and just grow closer through the program. We're just really thrilled about getting to partner with an organization like Salama Ministries that serves the underserved children in our community. And yeah, Miss Holly and Miss Dewana and Miss Dominique all do just an incredible job running this program, and yeah, we're just really blessed to get to be a part of it.
What could someone watching right now do just to straight up further your endeavors?
Absolutely. We have many opportunities for people to get involved. We certainly always need tutors. We always need people who want to spend time with young people. And this new math and all of these new ways of teaching, there's still some basic fundamentals that even folks like myself can do. So I want folks to know that if you wanted to volunteer as a tutor, don't feel intimidated by what you hear about education and things of that nature. We can find a way, because ultimately it really is about spending some time with the young people and sitting beside young people. We also have opportunities for volunteers at our special events. If you are an event planner, or if you have decorating opportunities, or if you have skills in makeup. If you have skills in any area that involves putting on a special event, we'd love to have you. We need people to check people in.
Sure.
We need people to register people. We need folks to come in and potentially, when we do our performances, if you can sew, you can help us with costuming.
Nice.
If you are able, again, to do makeup, you can help us with makeup. The kids love to wear makeup.
Sure.
If you have an interest in being a chaperone on a volunteer basis, we're happy to have you chaperone our students on events and things. We also have needs for office assistants, right? And so we do a lot of fundraising. We have lots of letters to write. We have lots of things to pack and things of that nature. There are administrative kinds of roles that people can play. If folks like to cook, our Miss Francie, our kitchen coordinator, does an awesome job. And we are always introducing and wanting to introduce our students to new and fresh and different kinds of foods. If you like to cook, come cook lunch for our students. If you just want to build a relationship with students, come and spend some time at Salama, and we can make sure that whatever talents you have, they can be put to work at Salama.
Here we are. It's my favorite part of the whole episode, especially with you. I can't wait to do this. It's the speed round.
Okay.
Where, just like we might have done when we were kids, if we had known each other at age 8, can you imagine? And I ask you a question, and the first thing that comes to your mind, please just let it fly, and we'll keep going.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Speed round with Dewana Wade. When you first walked into Salama Urban Ministries, what did you notice about the kids?
That they were loud, but loud in that they were having a blast, right? They were having a really, really good time, and that meant something, right? You don't ever want to go in a youth development organization and the kids are not having a good time.
Yeah.
And so that heartened me. That made me feel good. Made me feel good.
There's energy in there.
Yes, exactly.
What do you see in a child growing from year to year at Salama?
Honestly, I see depth of character in that they have such a belief in themselves from year to year. And I think about certain kids, and I won't call their names, but there are some that are challenging sometimes. And it's not because they are intentionally challenging. They're kids and they are learning how to be in the world. And then as we see them grow and mature and see them, and it doesn't even take 5, 6, 7 years, right? It can be school year to school year. And to see them different, and sometimes we're staff like, wow, this is amazing. This is why we do what we do, even though last year we never thought we would get to that point with that student. And so the depth of their character changing without them even knowing it.
Mm-hmm. What word do you say more than any other word at work?
It's a phrase.
That's okay. What is it?
Is there a question?
Oh,
No,
is that your
that's the
answer?
phrase. The phrase is there a question? Because is there a question?
That's fantastic.
It
Okay.
is, and that doesn't have anything to do with the kids. That has everything to do with the adults in the place.
That's great. What makes you laugh at work?
The team that I get to work with. I mean, really, we have a great time together. I'm the loudest thing in the building, and we are always laughing and cackling and spending good time with each other, which I think is important in us spending good time with the young people that we serve, and they get to see us.
You're modeling that for them without even trying. You don't even have to try.
No, we don't. It comes like that. It doesn't take much.
That's great. Flip side, what makes you cry at work?
We tell our kids every day, you can be and do anything you want to. And then sometimes the adult people, not in the room, but in the community, in the world, in government, in any of those places, make decisions and do things that really dampen our kids' real opportunities. That's what really is the most challenging.
My last question is the absolute easiest one of all.
Good.
What is your website?
It is www.salamaserves.org.
Thank you, Dewana.
Thank
Fantastic.
you, Trish.
Love
I've
it.
had a
Love it.
blast.
Me too.
Thank you so much.
Me too.
It's our Nashville.